Hold on. She was surprised that you divorced her? He was there and he caught you. And you were surprised that he divorced you? There's no.
My ex-wife cheated on me while we were both on vacation. I was so confused. I wondered how many times she had actually done this to me on our trips. I divorced my ex-wife in 2019. I had very good reason to do so. This woman freaking cheated on me while we were on vacation. When we got married, she made me promise that we'll go on vacation at least twice a year. That was the minimum. A lot of you may say, dude, why would you marry her? She was very demanding. That was the only thing she really wanted. She worked a great job, so she wasn't a stay-at-home wife. She didn't want fancy cars or a big house. We stayed in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo that I owned before I knew her. She was happy with her car. She never complained about shopping or things like that. She just loved traveling, and she said she just wants to travel twice a year. She was doing it before I got with her, so it's not like she was asking for something that she couldn't do for herself. She would tell me how she was happy to have a traveling buddy now. She wants to see the world with me, but first, we wanted to conquer the U.S. There were places that we wanted to go that we still hadn't visited yet before we started to go overseas. We were only married for 2 years, but the trip in question happened during our 2nd year. The trips were New York and Las Vegas. Neither of us had ever been there before. What happened in Vegas made me wonder what she did in New York. So, in New York, she wandered off by herself, and I found her with a group of guys and girls in Times Square having a grand old time. I guess I could just start the story off there. So, Vanessa and I had been married for 2 years at this time, and we decided to go to New York. It was already planned, so we get to New York very excited. We're still in the honeymoon phase, really, just all over each other. But one thing I noticed about Vanessa, and I didn't notice this until late in the engagement. Not saying this made me consider not marrying her, but it's just something I noticed. I told myself I need to get control over this and to not let her drink so much. She gets across a certain threshold, she becomes very free, carefree. I might say it's almost like she's not the same person. So, the first night in New York, we stay in Manhattan. We end up going to Times Square. We're having a grand time. People are dancing, playing music. It's just a ton of people there, and it's crowded. We leave. We go to some bars nearby. I say bars because we went to one, had a drink then. We decided it was a little too crowded, and Vanessa didn't like the music, so we went to another bar. She wanted to take another shot. I thought that we had too much, and I liked the way I was feeling, but Vanessa kept saying we're on vacation, we're together, we got each other, come on. She took a shot, and that was the shot that sent her over the threshold. Vanessa starts flashing, pulling up her shirt. I had to pull it down, and men are screaming. Yeah, even women are too. Bartenders laughing. I had to hold her down, and she's just looking at me, telling me how much she loves me, not even acknowledging that what she's doing is inappropriate. I had to go to the restroom, but I tried holding it and convincing Vanessa that we should go back to our hotel. Get some rest. We had 3 more days to have more fun. She didn't want to leave. I told her to come to the bathroom with me. This bathroom was a 1-toilet bathroom. I wanted her to come inside, but she kept telling me no, saying she'll wait right here outside. I said, all right, wait right here. Do not move. She looked at me with this look. I'm not a child, she said. I go inside right before I use the restroom. I opened the door to see if she was still out there. She was standing right there looking back at the people out in the crowd near the bar. I closed the door and I used the restroom. I do it quick as possible, wash my hands with water. I didn't even use soap. I opened the door and Vanessa is nowhere to be seen. I said, oh my gosh. I walked out to the crowd, looking around the bar. I do not see Vanessa. I'm panicking. I'm asking people. Hey, have you seen the girl? Short blonde that was with me, pink shirt? Some people didn't know who I was talking about. Others who said, yeah, I saw her go to the restroom with you. And then one guy comes over from another table because he heard me talking to somebody. He says, yeah, was that your wife? I said, yeah, that's my wife. Where is she, man? He said she just left out with the group. They were screaming back to Times Square, so I'm assuming that's where they are headed. I step outside the bar and I called Vanessa's phone. She is not answering. I go back into the bar just to make sure she's not still there, because I didn't want to leave and head over to Times Square if she wasn't going to be there. I'm looking all around the bar, and then one other person tells me the same thing. The girl with the pink shirt, she left with the group of people, and they were headed to Times Square. It was just a walk over, but I didn't want to walk over there, and she's still at the bar, but getting the second confirmation that she had left. I walk over to Times Square. I continue to call her phone. She is not answering. Times Square is freaking huge. How the heck am I supposed to find her with all these people around? I just started walking around, and I keep calling her, blowing her phone up. Eventually, I spot my wife with a group of people. Men and women, and some guy is holding my wife. Holding her as if it's his wife. I was livid. I go over there and I say, Vanessa, what are you doing? Why did you leave the bar? She looked at me and said, it's okay, I'm in good hands. She looks up at this guy when she said this. I snatched Vanessa so freaking hard. I looked at the guy that was holding her and I said, dude, this is my wife. This piece of crap says, are you sure? I grab Vanessa and I take her back to the hotel. In the car ride back, we're basically arguing in the back seat, not even caring that this driver is listening to everything I'm asking her. Why was she all hugged up with this guy? Vanessa screaming, talking about she's just having a good time, and I'm there, so she wouldn't do anything that'll disrespect me while I'm here. I said, oh, well, so if I wasn't here, you would be disrespecting me, because that's how I feel anyway. She says, no, silly, he just had his hands on me. I was cold. You weren't there to do it. We're just going back and forth, back and forth. We finally get to our hotel. Vanessa is crying, saying that I hate her, and I'll probably never forgive her. I tried ignoring the crying because I was really ticked off, but eventually I held her and said, we'll be all right. I didn't really have proof of her physically cheating. Necessarily, yeah, her in another man's arms is very disrespectful, but to be honest with you guys, I let it go. The next 3 days in New York was wonderful. We had a good time. We didn't drink as much. We did drink, but we didn't get plastered, so she was on good behavior. This really just confirmed to me that I cannot let her get drunk, nor do I want her going out by herself because she may get drunk and cheat on me. So this leads me to our second vacation during our second year of marriage. So this is the second vacation that year, and it's the Las Vegas trip. Both were really excited about this. You always hear about Vegas and how fun it is. Gambling, going to club, things like that. I feel okay with it. And I made sure that we were going to be together. Well, at least I tried. I wanted to be together at all times, but just writing this email makes me think that I definitely should have let her go. Vanessa, that is. Because I never trusted her. If you can't trust your wife to drink and be alone with friends or even be out of your presence, that's not your wife. Just like the guy in New York told me, when I said that's my wife, are you sure that's your wife? That just burns in my brain till this day. She was never my wife. Anyway, we get to Vegas, we get checked into our room, and it's already 4 o'clock. Vanessa saying, let's go drink. Let's go to the casino. Let's go to the show tonight. Let's just have fun. Then eat Waffle House tonight, but other days eat at nice fancy restaurants. And for the record, while I'm saying this, you all may think, oh, she was having you buy all these things, yada yada. No, Vanessa never had any issue splitting the bill, all that 50-50 stuff. It was okay with us. We both worked, we both had money, but anyway, we did that. We were drunk by 6 p.m. We were already drunk, both of us. I drank a little more than I usually like to, and Vanessa, she had passed that threshold already, and she was starting to get a little rowdy. We had fun at the casino. We both won pretty good, but then played the money back and lost it. Typical, huh? Anyway, after the casino, we went to a show and had an amazing time. We both sang our hearts out to each other. We made out, had so much fun. We kind of sobered up a little bit. Then we got back to our room and decided to rest before we went and got some Waffle House. Our hotel had a swimming pool, really nice pool. It was packed. Vanessa decided she wanted to go swim before we ate. Can we, babe, please, please, she kept asking. I wasn't really up for it, but she quickly changed into her bathing suit and I was taking my sweet time. We went down to the pool and we actually had an amazing time. Just her and I, not really paying anyone else attention. Pretty sure we were being absurd to a lot of people. We were at the pool for a good hour and a half before we decided to go back, so we could go get some food. We get on the elevators, and as the elevator door was about to close, a group of guys walked by the elevator, looking like they were going to head to the stairs. Vanessa jumped off that elevator so damn fast, I said, "What are you doing?" She looked back and said, "I'll race you," saying that she was going to take the stairs. I quickly tried to open the elevator's doors, but it wouldn't open. I was pissed, especially hearing one of the guys in the crowd say, "Damn, look at all that ash," referring to Vanessa. I was pissed. I was stuck going up. I got off the elevator and I started blowing her phone up, and of course she didn't answer. I went to the stairs and I didn't hear anyone in the stairwell. I am blowing Vanessa's phone up and I'm not getting any responses. You guys understand how frustrated I was, how defeated I felt. Vanessa and I both had a key card to our room. I actually went to the room, hoping that she was at the room. She was not there. I was so hurt in my mind. These guys are nailing my Vanessa to the wall. I decided to go back downstairs, but I took the stairwell. I get down to the first floor. That was my gut feeling telling me to do that because I walked out, and Vanessa was walking out of a hotel room. She didn't even notice me. I see her. She's just talking to some guy. I ran over to the door and I said, "What the F is this? What's going on?" The guy says, "Oh, is this your husband? I appreciate you bringing her to Vegas, Playboy. I needed that, you feel me?" I said, "What the hell is he talking about?" Looking at Vanessa, and I said, "What's going on? Why are you in this man's hotel room?" Vanessa starts crying. I told Vanessa to tell me the truth. What happened? The guy's door is still open, and he's just sitting there laughing. He says, "Bro, what you think? I'm sorry to tell you, homeboy, but you're girl for the streets." I look at Vanessa and I said, "Did you sleep with this guy?" The man opened his door more and said, "She slept with me. She slept with him. She sucked him off." I told Vanessa we were done and we're getting a divorce. I went back to the room and Vanessa followed me. Vanessa begged every day until our flight. I wouldn't speak to her whenever I'd wake up in the morning. I'd wish I dreamed the entire thing. The day of our flight back home, I tell Vanessa that some things are forgivable. I ask her, "Did you sleep with those guys in that room?" Vanessa tears up and says, "Yes, I did, and I will spend the rest of my life making things right with you. I'll stop drinking. I'll do anything you want me to." I went back to silent mode. Vanessa thought there was hope, and I just needed time. No, I was done. I ignored her all the way back home. I found a lawyer on the trip back and went to my scheduled meeting. Got everything rolling. August 14th, 2019. I remember that day like it was yesterday. Vanessa had moved into her mother's home by this time. She called me in a panic, calling me a liar, saying I tricked her into believing I wanted to reconcile. How can I have her serve divorce papers? I've turned into a monster. I listened to this woman cry on the phone and beg me to remain married to her. She then said the dumbest crap to me. That made me even angrier. She says those guys are guys neither of us will ever see again. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I ended the call and cut all communication with her. My lawyer handled everything. Weeks later, before our divorce hearing, my soon to be ex wife pinned a letter to me and left it on my door. I can attach it here in the email if you'd like to add it to your story. Let's check out this letter. OP attached it. Dear love, hopefully you will read this letter. When you see it is from me, you might put it in the trash. So if you are reading, I have a lot to say. A lot of things have been pent up within me since that hot Vegas day when our marriage was dissolved. You've been seeming so happy with the divorce. After all, you were the one who initiated it. I remember distinctly how you walked away from the meeting with our lawyers, not even casting a glance my way. The look on your face seemed as if you were thinking to yourself, here I am, world free again. Remember you told me you had that feeling after your last 6-year relationship that ended before we met. Going through the pain and agony of divorce, I could see you were very pleased to separate your life from mine. Despite the way I felt that dreadful day, I knew I had to get on with my life. But it's not going to be that easy. Those guys were nothing and didn't even compare to you. All of them together had nothing on you. Emotionally, I was still joined to you just as much as that day we said I do, at the altar vowing to be with each other forever. I've heard about your new friend. I feel like I've been replaced, and we aren't even divorced yet. I'll never date anyone because I believe we'll be together again. But if you don't care to add the letter, that's fine. She tried her best to get into contact with me. Everything. Left a letter on my door. She didn't ring the doorbell or anything. She knew better. She was afraid I would probably put a restraining order out on her or something. But this woman truly believed that we were going to get back together. Somehow you literally sleep with someone else while we're on vacation. Now, guys, I know a lot of you were thinking I should have learned my lesson when we went to New York, and you're right. Heck, I didn't give you guys the story of what happened while we were engaged. That's when I first realized that she can't drink as much, but like I said earlier, I thought that I could just control her drinking, and everything would be fine. In the 2 years we were married, actually when we were engaged, she went on a trip with her friends, once to Florida and then another time to Detroit, Michigan to see a comedy show. There's a high chance if she drank that, she cheated on me those times as well. My ex-wife, she's a beautiful woman. She has a very, very nice body and she's pretty too. So I knew whenever she went out, men hit on her. The second trip she went on with her girlfriends, I was actually weird about it because I had already found out how she was when she was drunk. But she promised me she would not drink, and she honestly did talk to me every day when they were on the trip. But to wrap things up, often throughout the divorce process, my ex-wife tried hard to win me back. I was done. I didn't want her. The disrespect was unbearable. Her last words to me in the room after the judge left was, I am a monster and I will burn in hell for giving up on our marriage.
Oh, hold on. She was surprised that you divorced her? Ma'am, you got the train ran on you in Vegas. And your husband was there and he caught you. And you were surprised that he divorced you? There's no way. There's no way. You're going to hell for divorcing me. What do you think you're, ma'am? No, I'm not dealing with you. And you're right. You said it, man. You said it. You should have stopped dealing with her a long time ago. The New York trip, yeah, that's enough to make me say, nah, we're done. I'm sorry, we're done. You know, you can't control your alcohol, but you said there's more to the story. Like she did something when you were engaged that showed you this. You guys see, this is a lesson here. When they show you who you are, when they show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. That is one of the realest quotes I've ever heard. You keep forgiving somebody and they keep doing the same thing. Come on now. And you start to look goofy. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you divorced her, man. I'm glad you got out of that situation. She is no good at all. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.